All right. Yeah. Wait a minute. I think we got some technical problems. Yeah. Um, this might be a problem. Yeah. Uh, give me a second. I think you're not coming through on the audio. It might be a problem on my end. Yes. Oh yeah, I remember that. That was the cringiest thing. All right, I'm gonna fix this too. Yo, hello, hello. Okay, that's working. All right. Try talking now.
All right, we on?
Yep, we good. It's perfect.
You hear me?
Yep, I can hear you, and the sound is coming through on the stream.
All right.
All right. So are you in the stream?
I believe I'm in the stream.
Okay. Before you do that, before we start, I want to test out if this actually works because I've only tested it through like normal like preview in Streamlabs.
Oh, it showed your Discord for a moment.
Uh, just give me a second. I'm gonna put in case it shows up again. I'm gonna put my Discord in streamer mode.
All right. You want to restart the stream or like?
No, it's fine. There's nothing confidential.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Where's streamer
It
mode?
just showed It just showed your Discord group. We assassinate redditors.
Oh yeah.
Oh god.
All right. So before we do that, I want you to unfollow me and then follow me again.
Me? Okay.
Yeah, so that I could see the thing happen.
Does it work if I unfollow and refollow?
Maybe not. I'm not. Let me repeat the alert.
Why is that channel even named that?
What? We assassinate redditors?
Yeah. Why is it even named that?
I I don't know.
Fair enough. Oh yeah, we got pretty far. We got up to like part 6.
Yeah. We ended off at. Yeah, we're at the start of part 6 right now. This probably isn't gonna take as long as as before because like there's less stands in part 7 and 8.
Yeah.
All right. So yeah, let's just jump right into it. Stone free. I want to say
I know some things about Stone Free. I'd say it's maybe B tier.
like
Like,
okay, physic in terms of physical strength. In terms of physical strength, it's shown to be the weakest out of all the JoJo protagonists.
but
But
that's still above
it,
average.
it is well, yes, because it says that the limit of its power is crushing a coin.
Oh, also, real quick disclaimer, just in case you didn't see.
Yeah.
Spoiler warning.
Oh yeah, I
Spoilers.
put that in
Everything
the
after this is spoiler territory. Everything here, we will be discussing spoilers.
yeah, I put
So
that
if you don't want that, click
in the
off
stream
now.
title.
Yep.
Okay.
Uh,
So all right, stone free, normal punching, at the same time can decompose its user's body into string. And the things that she could do with string are pretty cool. Like its range is really far when it's just the string. She can make bulletproof vests. She can turn herself into a Mobius strip. She can what else could she do? She could hear through the string. And yeah, there's like a lot of stuff that you could do with stone free. So I think yeah, I'm pretty sure it's a B tier.
yeah, I think it's a B. I don't know if it has that kick to be A tier,
No, but
but
it's definitely a B tier.
I'd say it's definitely high B tier for sure.
Yeah. All right.
Like top of B.
I don't really do top of tier lists because I'm kind of like
Yeah,
I like to keep it organized.
me too. That'd be a mess, but like I'm
Yeah.
just saying for the record, top of B.
Yeah. All right.
Also, you have ads showing up in the on the sides, just in case. I don't think there's anything we can do about that.
No. Okay. Goo Dolls. Google Dolls is like, if you remember
Huh?
Little Feet, which is the stand that could shrink its user and
Joseph?
things around it. What happened?
We you there?
Did you lose my audio?
Yeah, for a second. Was that your end or mine?
I don't know.
I mean, everything's good now, right?
Yeah, everything's fine.
All right.
All right.
Uh,
Goo Dolls. It's essentially really similar to Little Feet, where it could
oh, your Discord's up
wait, my Discord's
again.
going out?
Yeah, no, your Discord's up. Like,
Oh, it's loud?
no, your Discord was literally on the screen.
Oh, yeah, because I was just checking to see if anything was wrong. Well, I'm in streamer mode, so I'm fine.
Yeah, true.
All right. Goo Dolls. It's like pretty much the same as Little Feet, except I think it's better than Little Feet because like the shrinking is instant. Where Little Feet it was like a gradual shrinking.
What is it? What do little feet do again?
Little Feet is that it could like cut something and then it could shrink it, but the shrinking is gradual over time. It doesn't happen instantly. But with Goo Goo Dolls, it is instantly.
So it just cuts it and then.
Well, no, I think it's just touching something.
Oh, that's just better.
Yeah.
Just better.
So I want to say it's not that strong. So where's Little Feet? Little Feet's in D. I want to say we put this in C.
Yeah, it's fair.
Yeah.
I mean, how much does it shrink the target?
Like to the size of like a mouse.
Ah.
Yeah. All right. Okay, I'm gonna need to get up the wiki on my phone really quick because, like everyone else, I also have JoJo Part 6 brain rot, and I do not remember what Manhattan Transfer does.
How could you not remember the classic Manhattan Transfer?
The classic. I actually do like the user and the whole fight in general. Like this fight is like right after we meet Jotaro. Well, not meet Jotaro, after Jotaro gets introduced into Part 6. And then right before he gets taken out of it immediately.
Ah, yes, of course.
Okay, where is Manhattan Transfer?
Hey, you still had more presents in Part 6 and Part 5.
Yeah. Alright.
Part 4 was peak Jotaro, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah, definitely. I love Jotaro in Part 6. I mean, Part 4.
I like him way more in Part 4 than Part 3.
Yeah. Alright,
not that it's bad in Part 3, I just really am a fan of the trope of, like, protagonists from previous, like, stories becoming, like, side characters and becoming, like, returning characters in future stories.
Yeah. I honestly really love that, throughout, throughout Part 4, Kira is just insanely terrified of Jotaro because he almost whooped his ass the first time they met. And every time somebody talks about Jotaro, he's like he has PTSD. Alright, let me look up Manhattan Transfer.
Yeah, just an older, more mature Jotaro is like so cool.
Yeah. Alright, Manhattan Transfer is able to read the air currents around it and react accordingly. The stand can precisely sense the movements of the air around it and transfer the information to the user, who can visualize what is happening around Manhattan Transfer with precision, guess the position of targets, and even have an idea of their general appearance. Manhattan Transfer floats along air currents, moving erratically, but then it is able to move whenever it senses an object moving towards it through the air current. Its precision is such that it can effortlessly avoid many falling water drops. Because it is dependent on reading air current, it is possible to fool the user into misreading the wind, as creating different layers of gases will result in the distortion of the air currents. It could also redirect bullets.
That was a lot to digest.
Yeah. I think the reason it's so specific is pretty much because like the user's blind.
So it just tells the user where you are, basically.
Pretty much.
Doesn't it have any combat capabilities?
No. I mean, the user is a sniper, so
Oh, that's like the perfect stand for him then.
pretty much. But like by itself, the stand is just used to like tell him about the area.
Yeah. Could you like snipe cars?
No.
Could you snipe Dio?
No. I want to say
Could
this
you-
like a it's like a D tier stand, honestly. I
Like,
mean,
what
it
if they
has-
just shot cars in part 2? Like,
What if?
what if they just shot them?
Yeah. I want to say this like a D tier ability. It's not like bad. It's more or less like I could see uses for it, but it's not that good.
It's one of those stands where it's perfect for him, but not really for anyone else.
Yeah. All right. Whitesnake is an S. Whitesnake is
Oh
instant.
yes.
Not S
Where's
plus.
Weather Report too?
We'll get to weather report.
Can we just throw up an S real quick?
I mean, I kind of want to talk about weather report before we get there.
Oh yeah, that's fair.
All right.
Whitesnake is S though.
Yeah, like
Oh wait, no, Whitesnake's like the end of part 6, right?
no, Whitesnake gets introduced like Whitesnake is like the third stand introduced in part 6.
Oh, we'll get to the one I'm thinking about.
Yeah, we'll get to the real last
boy,
stand.
we'll get to
All right. Yeah, Whitesnake is like Whitesnake is like, "Oh, steal your memories. You don't even know who you are anymore." And
that's pretty busted.
And the fact that it has like the stuff it does with illusions, the stuff it does with acid.
And it steals your stand, right?
Yep. And it could also take out aspects of people and it yeah, like when he like takes out his eyesight using his stand. Like
why would he do that?
It was because of heavy weather.
One sec, I'm mute.
Alright.
I'm back.
Alright. But we'll get to heavy weather. Okay.
We'll get to a weather report and we'll get to the other one.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm looking at it right here. I don't think they put heavy weather as a separate stand, so I guess we're just gonna well, it won't really matter. But anyway, yeah, I love Poochie so much. Poochie is like such a fun, an interesting villain.
Heavy weather is not on here?
I'm assuming that they're just coupling it with weather report.
Should we? Oh no, weather report's on there. My bad.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
But yeah, Poochie, I'm excited to get back into JoJo, and like, just Poochie sounds like one of the most like fun villains.
Yeah, it's more or less like, I mean, he's kind of like, it's not that he's like fun. It's more of like the fact that he's like incredibly interesting.
Yeah, that's what I mean. He's incredibly interesting.
Like his goals and everything. He's like, honestly, with the original universe, that is like a banger villain to end on, honestly. But we'll get to Funny Valentine. All right.
Yeah, we'll get to. Oh yeah.
All right. Highway to Hell, F tier. Do you remember what Highway to Hell does?
I think isn't one of those where you have to die to use it.
It's the fact that you have to kill yourself.
No, it doesn't kill you. Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, you have to kill yourself to use it. That's a terrible stand
that
ability.
Is an awful stand ability. Like it's not even like Notorious B.I.G. where you have like a great KD ratio. You only get one, and you're one of them.
Oh yeah.
Well, you only get two, and you're one of them. All right.
Yeah, I just imagine there's like a stand roulette. Well, it's just like Jeopardy where they have to spin the wheel. Is that Jeopardy?
Yes. No, wait.
Yeah,
that's
it's
not
like
Jeopardy. You're thinking of Wheel of Fortune.
Oh. Yeah, I'm thinking. Oh, God, how did I get them mixed up? I'll watch these. But it's like Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah. All right.
And it just lands on Highway to Hell, and it's just like.
I guess I'll just never use my stand again.
Yeah, I guess I just don't have to stand.
Yeah. Alright, burning down the house. So, what burning down the house does is that if you remember Mr. President is a turtle with a room in it. Um, Burning down the house is kind of like that. It's in a similar like it's used for similar purposes. It's that like the stand itself can create rooms, but these rooms are ghost rooms of rooms that have been destroyed in the past, and only the user can use the objects in the room.
That sounds kind of cool.
It's interesting, and the user has like a computer, so you could do research. There's also a gun in there in case he needs to use that.
And
the
only
fact,
he
and
can use any of it.
Yes, only he can use it, but other people can just be in the room. I want to say this like an honestly, it's like a D tier as well.
Yeah, it's interesting, but like it sounds super niche.
Yeah.
And they could just leave the room, right? They're not even like.
Well, that's the thing. It's not really meant to trap somebody. It's used for the same reason as Coco Jumbo. It's meant to hide away.
Oh, it's meant to hide away. How did they? Can they enter the room?
Yeah.
Oh.
The way the room manifests, like there's like a crack in the wall, and if you go into that crack, it kind of like pulls you into the room.
Oh, I see. I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah. I
Like,
mean,
it's a super neat stand, but like, also,
it's not very practical when you think about it.
I hate ranking it so low because it's such a cool stand.
Yeah.
I'd love something like that, but
Yeah.
like, it's just not practical.
Yeah. All right. Kiss. I'm tempted to put it in S tier because its stats are A in literally everything except for precision.
What's Kiss do?
What Kiss does is that Kiss creates like a sticker, right? And if it puts a sticker on an object, it duplicates that object. And once it takes the sticker off, the objects will like violently like reattach each other, so they kind of like combine. And if it does that to like a part of your body, then it does damage to you.
That's pretty good.
I want to say
Just
this
for this.
like a C tier ability because like, I mean, you could do some stuff with it.
Also, it's like the precision not that good.
Well, yeah, but then again, that's stand stats.
Yeah,
So
but
that's
like
also, that's a whole nother ball game.
Yeah, I like A in every stat's kind of stupid, but we haven't been ranking on stand stats, have we?
No,
that's like a whole
don't
other.
really matter. I mean, if we were ranking on stand stats, then we would have to put GR in 0 because he has a none in all of his stats.
Does he have a none?
I don't know, just to add to the mysterious, like.
Well, that just means undefined.
Yeah, pretty much. All right, I'm gonna have to look up Foo Fighters because I have a vague understanding of what it could do, but its ability is way more convoluted than I think it is.
Don't you like fight with food?
No.
I know.
All right. Appearance. No, why am I looking at appearance? Abilities. Okay. So, Foo Fighters is like a colony of sentient plankton that attaches itself to a stand disc and got turned into a stand. So it's like a hive mind, and it could separate into different bodies, and like move about.
Yep.
It's also pretty strong. It could invade somebody's body and take over their consciousness and have access to their memories, and it could also wear their body as a disguise.
That's pretty good. So basically just possession?
Pretty much.
Sounds pretty good.
Water control. She can manipulate water with enough to create a small square mirror out of 1/3 of a cup of water. That's really specific. Yeah. Inside a host, Foo Fighters can shoot small parts of itself as if it were a gun. This is shown to be incorporate pistol parts into the hand. The bits of plankton colony can invade somebody's body and take control of it. The shots have enough strength to pierce through skin. She could seal wounds by putting plankton in between them to stop somebody from bleeding. Essentially, she's the healer of the group. But the main downside is that this stand requires water and is very susceptible to dehydration. So if they don't have a steady supply of water, or they don't have water that they could access at a moment's notice, then they're pretty much like screwed.
But you just keep like water bottles on you.
Yeah, but sometimes like in certain situations you can't.
That's true. That's a pretty. It's a manageable limitation, not the worst.
Yeah.
But that knocks it. That knocks it from. That means it can't be A.
Yeah, I want to say it's like a C tier stand ability.
Like, and it sounds so good though.
Yeah, I mean,
Until you realize
if we're taking into Foo Fighters' personality, then that's a and her character, then that's a whole nother situation. But as itself, it's pretty like basic. I mean, not basic. It's pretty like it's
specific.
yeah, it's pretty specific. All right. All right, weather report S. Like
Oh,
no,
yep.
that's an S plus definitely.
Oh yeah, you could just be anyone with that because like their definition of manipulate the weather is so incredibly vague.
Yeah, and it's also that like he could just like he could create sunlight. He has control over the elements, so he could just conjure fire. And the fact incorporating heavy weather, you just turn into a snail. As long as you look at the rainbows.
You literally. So isn't it like you think you're turning into you believe you're turning into a snail so much it literally happens?
Yes.
How the hell does that even work?
It's JoJo, man. He manipulates the ozone layer to give us subliminal message.
But subliminal messages don't. But
the whole thing is that it's based on the theory that subliminal messages can cause biological reactions, and because it's JoJo, then it takes that to the extreme, to the point where it makes you think you're a stand so much that a snail, that you actually become a snail.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's still stupid.
It is.
But you know what? It's JoJo.
Yeah, I think any stand that could like destroy the ozone layer if it wanted to is pretty overpowered.
Oh yeah, that's stupidly busted.
Yeah. All right.
S plus though, I thought what was the other stand in S plus?
Silver Chariot Requiem.
No, yeah, that's fair. Did we reviewed that one?
Yeah. I mean, I guess we could bump down that to S, because I feel like we're just putting S plus for like completely overpowered reality manipulating stands.
Which I mean, Chariot Requiem is.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's the thing. Weather Report is S, but like is easy S. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But I feel like S plus is reserved for like the reality warpers.
Right. Okay.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
Do you think that's fair?
Yeah. All right. I need to read up on this again because. Oh. Man, this list isn't including every stand because we skipped over Marilyn Manson.
Marilyn Manson?
Okay. Alright, so Marilyn Manson's not here, but we're just going to talk about what Marilyn Manson does.
Which part is that from? 5?
No, part 6.
Oh.
Marilyn Manson is... It's like you have to make a bet with the stand user. It's like the Darby Brothers, except it's worse because it doesn't take your soul. It'll take things from you until it reaches the money that you bet on it. So say you bet $1,000 on a certain game and you lose, or in your head you admit that you lose, then the stand will come out and it'll start to like essentially like mug you of your money, and if it can't get enough money from actual physical dollars, it'll start to steal your organs to sell it on the black market. Marilyn Manson is so stupid, and I love it.
That's my favorite stand.
That's honestly okay. Like in all honesty, I think that's like a D. I would think that's like an E tier stand because I think like stealing somebody's soul is 10 times better than just stealing money off of them.
It's just basic mathematics.
Pretty much. So
It's S in our hearts
it's
though.
S in our hearts, but on this tier list, if it were here, we would put it in E. All right. Jumpin' Jack Flash. I need to remember what this one does. All right. It. Oh right. It's a zero gravity. The victim becomes the center of a zero gravity environment. Being spat on by Lang Wrangler the user causes the victim to stop being subject to gravity as well as anything and anyone they touch.
You have to spit on them?
Yes. Built-in centrifuges. Jumpin' Jack Flash is armed with two centrifuges on each wrist that can store small objects such as screws and bolts, and then turn at high speed, accumulating centrifugal energy inside the objects before launching them at enemies as bullets. The use of physical objects as ammunition means that Lang needs to reload them regularly.
I have a question.
Okay.
What do they mean by, like, what do they mean by, like, immune to the laws of gravity?
It just means that you're in zero gravity now.
Oh, it's not like it launches you into space.
No. Well, I mean, if it was in an open area, I think it would. But like since they were in like a condensed area, it just makes that one person have no gravity anymore.
So, like, hypothetically speaking, let's say spit on cars.
Cars. I mean, yeah, but at the same time, this is Ultimate Cars we're talking about. He could just turn into a bird and flap down.
Oh yeah, and then just murder the guy.
Yeah, I want to say this like a. I think the zero gravity ability is cool, but I want to say this like a B tier stand.
Yeah, the gravity, but it seems cool, but a little niche.
Yeah,
Just a little.
This is when we start getting into the gravity stands.
Ah.
All right, Limp Bizkit. This. Okay, I'm just gonna say right now, Limp Bizkit isn't S tier, but it's definitely A tier. It has the ability to create invisible zombies.
That's pretty powerful.
Yeah, and they act like normal zombies, and the fact that they will try to eat you alive.
Zombies are invisibility is pretty nice.
Yeah. Also, if the user dies, then they also become an invisible zombie.
That's stupid.
Well, yeah, but then you know that if the user doesn't have to die to use it. If the user does die, then you know you have a backup plan. In the fact that the stand will still be active.
I see.
Yeah. The only problem is that you have to be in an area where there's actual dead bodies.
Oh.
Because it's not like it brings the body back to life. It more or less like creates invisible like apparitions of them. Like separate from their corpse. So it has to have like an actual dead body to use the stand.
So when the user dies, it creates an apparition of them?
Yes.
So it doesn't literally turn them into one.
I mean, they still have the same personality. They're just invisible and will also feed off of people's flesh.
Oh. But it's not them, right?
I mean, I think the case is different for the user.
So it's literally just a second shot at life.
Pretty much. I mean, you could still be harmed. I mean, it's not like you're a ghost. It's more or less like...
It's more like the second phase of the boss fight.
Yeah, pretty much. So the user can still be killed even though they're invisible. But I think the fact that you could just create invisible zombies, and unless you have something that could reveal them, you're pretty much screwed.
That's true. But I mean, you need to be in an area where dead people are. Which is pretty limiting.
I mean, it made sense in the fight because like it took place in the prison cemetery. But now that you mention that, I do think that kind of bumps it down to B, that you have to have dead bodies. I think it's strong, but the fact that you need to have actual dead bodies instead of creating zombies is pretty like it's kind of limiting.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's mostly
kind of inconvenient, you know. You need dead bodies.
Yeah.
Kind of. There was a joke I was gonna make there, but like I can't think of anything.
All right, Diver Down. Okay, so what Diver Down can do is that he has like, all right, the first ability that he's shown that he kind of uses is
I'm
that,
gonna replug in my headphones real quick. Sorry to interrupt.
all right,
All right, replugged my headphones. So, diver down.
yeah, so Diver Down can like put his own kinetic energy in an object and release it. So the way that works is that like he ends up like kicking a wall, and then when somebody comes close to the wall, he activates his ability, and the wall will kick the person that walked near it physically. That's its
Oh,
first ability. Its second ability is to dive inside of objects and people and rearrange them and rearrange their properties.
oh God, that's kind of busted actually.
Yeah, so it could essentially dive inside of you. It can also absorb kinetic energy. So if somebody like hits a person that Diver Down is inhabiting, then Diver Down will take the brunt of the damage. And also the fact that it could phase through walls and take things with it. So it can make other things intangible.
That's hypothetically speaking. Let's say he rearranged Kars's organs.
He could probably, I mean, I want to say he's A tier but not S tier because I don't think he could beat Cars. I mean,
What
you
would
could
Kars
rearrange his
do?
organs, but I don't think that's going to do anything to the ultimate life form.
Yeah, it's fair enough.
Yeah, I want
He's
to.
like also he could just manipulate his body back.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, Diver Down is like I think one of the most versatile stands in Stone Ocean. It's also my
That's a
favorite
good
stand from
step.
Stone Ocean, right next to Whitesnake. All right, Survivor. We know where we're putting this. This is an F tier. This
What's
is
Survivor do?
this is the stand that Dio said was the worst stand.
Do we know what it does?
Okay, what it does is that it sends, if you're in its range, it sends an electrical signal. It creates like an electrical field that goes into your body. You don't feel it, and it doesn't shock you. But what it does is that it makes you angry, and that's it.
Wow.
Hmm.
That's supremely useless.
Yeah, I mean, it's only useful in the fight where like he activates it, the user activates it, and like everyone in the punishment ward is kind of like just fighting each other, just trying to kill each other. But other than that, there's like no other use for that. Like the
And how did Dio know about this stand?
um, I think I don't know. I think he had time to travel the world, so I think he just encountered the stand or something.
Ah, it's literally the worst stand.
Yeah. All right. Planet waves. Planet waves can pull small meteors from space and bring them to Earth.
Small
As
media.
in he could essentially just like cause a meteor to go exactly where the enemy is.
That's well, a meteor needs to be. No, could it just pull out like space rocks or like?
Well, I think that's what it does, but the fact is that they're not like huge meteors. They're like the size of they're like the size of like an average sized rock. But the fact that they're going that
Anything
fast and they're on
traveling
fire is
that
pretty like
fast
yeah.
is it doesn't. That's pretty busted.
I want to say there's like a B tier stand.
That's like A tier. He's launching meteors at you.
Well, yeah, but like I think any of these stands in A tier could probably beat that stand
I
because they're
guess
probably fast enough to dodge it.
meteors are pretty cool.
Like it's
though.
it's not like locked onto a certain person. It's the general area.
Ah,
If it was locked
I,
onto a certain person, that'd be a different story. But if it's a
no,
general area and it can
that
and
still
you
creates
can
like
dodge
an
it,
explosion.
I mean, I don't think it
How do
makes.
you dodge that?
I don't know. I mean, Jolene beat it.
What'd she do? Be able to, like string?
I think she like choked out the user.
I mean, like
I mean, it does require the user to bring meteors into the atmosphere.
That's why I was thinking, like, how do you guarantee you have something to attack with?
I mean, like, if you know what he's doing, then, like, I guess it's kind of predictable because, like, I don't know. It's shown that they're very easy to dodge, so I don't think they're going as fast as normal meteors.
Uh,
But it's still
because that just be
it's still
busted.
damaging when it hits you. I think it is a B tier stand, but I don't think it's an A tier stand.
If it was like a normal meteor, that'd be S.
Yeah, definitely. All right, Dragon's Dream is an S.
One thing
An
is, he
F.
could just pull debris out of the sky, out of space, right? Whenever he pleases.
Yep.
Okay, that makes sense.
Yeah.
What's this one?
Dragon's Dream. I think I told you about this. It's the one where like the stand points out lucky spaces to the user, and like if the user is in that area, good things will happen to the user. But also, it will just give the enemy an information and tell them where their lucky spaces are. It's so bad. It is so bad. Like,
how do lucky spaces even work?
I don't know. Okay, like,
Are
okay,
they just there, or does the stand create them?
I don't know. Like, everyone, like, okay, I'm not the kind of person that hates on part 6, but I think everyone could collectively agree that the maximum security, that the punishment ward arc is pretty bad because it has two of the worst stands in the series, with one alright one in between.
That's honestly just comically bad.
Yeah. Alright. Yo-Yo Ma.
Yo, yo, ma. What's
Yo-
this one do?
Okay, so what Yo-Yo Ma does is that it's an automatic stand with, like, it's like range irrelevant, essentially. Um, what it pretty much does is that it has, like, acid saliva. So what it does is that it sprays acid everywhere unnoticed by drooling, and then it waits for the victims to get exposed and melt. It is able to melt whole chunks of flesh without causing bleeding or pain, as the dissolution can go unnoticed for some time. It is completely silent and abrupt. And
And doesn't cause pain?
well, yeah. Also,
Huh.
the fact that the stand is completely invincible.
That's kind of busted.
Yeah.
But I mean, so you said it doesn't cause pain?
I mean,
I'd
I
assume
think
having
it's.
your flesh melted would be
But yeah,
painful.
but the whole point is that it's discreet. So I assume that it doesn't hurt as much as acid melting your body would actually hurt.
That's fair.
I want to say this like a C tier stand, honestly.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like
Yo-Yo Ma fight is
it
kind of
does,
like weird.
but like I mean, acid melt. Like that sounds like it'd be good on paper. Like, I mean, I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know with this stand. Like,
I don't know either. Yo-Yo Ma is
I
pretty
guess one of
weird.
those things where I'd actually have to read it.
Yeah.
I'd actually have to read the manga to get it.
Yeah. The whole Yo-Yo Ma fight is structured really weird. It like after the last fight, it kind of puts you in the middle of the fight and then slowly reveals to you what happened beforehand. So it's structured really weird and makes it really confusing the first time you read it. But after you read it again, it's like, oh, all right, this fight is just kind of mediocre. Instead of when
But
I thought
like,
it was bad.
huh? So, but then like, so the stand just kind of melts a part of your body,
Yeah.
but it doesn't cause pain
No.
or do any damage, permanent
Well, it's
damage.
melting your body. That is pretty much damage. It's just that you
No, that
won't
is
really
damage, but
feel it.
permanent damage.
I don't remember. The whole thing was that the stand used like there were mosquitoes, so the stand like implanted acid into the mosquitoes. So when the mosquitoes bit Jolene, then it just passed on the acid.
So essentially, just incapacitates a part.
I mean, it's still acid that'll still melt you.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, is what you're saying, it doesn't hurt?
I don't know.
Do the characters just not know it? What?
I don't remember.
The less we think about this one, the better.
Yeah.
Who's up next?
All right. Green Grass of Home. This is an S tier.
What's it do?
Okay, this is the stand of the green baby, which is the reincarnation of Dio. So, what Green Grass of Home does is that if you try and get close to the green baby, then you will just shrink. And the closer you get, the more you will shrink until you will never until you shrink to a microscopic level and you will never reach the target. The user, I mean.
If you leave the area, is the effect undone?
Yes. But it's the fact actually no, that does bump it down to A tier because cars could just leave. But also the fact that like you will never get close to the user.
But like it's just a stalemate.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you could just never get close to it. It is a stalemate, but like eventually you're just gonna become microscopic. I mean, if you want to go back to your normal size, you're gonna have to retrace your exact steps. And then again, if the baby moves closer to you, then that pretty much screws you.
Yeah. That sounds like an S tier to me.
Yeah. It isn't. The only way that they were able to defeat it was by the baby actually consciously turning off the ability because he was like fascinated by Jolene's birthmark.
Huh.
Yeah. All right. That's Green Rest. All right. Oh yeah, this is the boiling water stand. Okay, so what happens is that Poochie, Foo Fighters is trying to like warn the gang that Poochie is coming to get the green baby. But then in order to try and stop Foo Fighters, Poochie like inserts a stand disc into Foo Fighters and that stand disc has the ability of just boiled water. So it essentially like it starts to burn her alive.
Oh.
But the fact that the stand's ability is just boiling water. It's definitely like an F tier, honestly.
That stand looks. It's something. What's going on with that thing?
Okay, that's not actually the stand. That's just the ability. That's Foo Fighters, and like her body is like boiling.
Ah, yeah. I see.
All right,
but like, he literally just had a stand on standby that boils water.
Yep.
That's incredibly convenient.
It is. It is really.
That's incredible.
It is really convenient. All right. Jailhouse Lock. Jailhouse Lock is the stand that stops people from escaping the prison. What it does is that if you touch the walls of the prison or any building that the stand user is in, you will only be able to remember 3 things for the rest of your life.
What are those 3 things?
Just like anything. And once that happens, you will just forget everything else throughout the day until you wake up the next day. And then it starts over.
If you touch any of the walls or anything?
Uh-huh.
How'd that not happen to Jolene?
Well, that's exactly what happened. As soon as she tried to escape, well, the stand wasn't active until then. Until the user knew that Jolene was trying to escape, then she activated the ability.
Ah. But then what happens?
I don't remember. I have a lot of trouble remembering the first part of part 6 because I
mean, I assume Jolene is stuck with amnesia forever.
I mean, she got out, but I don't remember. I think it was from a third party because I think the stand could only really affect one person at a time.
Ah. So she just got lucky.
Yeah. I think so.
Huh, that's like how do we rank that?
I want to say that it's like a C tier because like if you use this on somebody, they essentially just become an idiot for the rest of their life. Or until the stand user is defeated, or if they just turn off the ability.
That's a weird one. It's one of those where I'd have to read part 6.
Yeah. I'm going to put this in C tier, just because, like, I don't know. It's weird. Alright. Bohemian Rhapsody. Jesus Christ. I honestly don't know whether to put this in S or F. Oh my god.
What's it do?
This is the stand of like one of Dio's kids. This is this is the stand that any fictional character that is drawn will come to life. And if you recognize the thing, the fictional character, and you have some kind of like personal attachment, like say it's your favorite character or your favorite story, you will be wrapped into their story and like carry out their fate. But the main problem of the stand is the way they defeated it because they just invented because they just invented a character that could just beat everyone. Where it's like, oh, I'm gonna draw this guy, and his ability is that he turns off Bohemian Rhapsody.
And that just worked because Bohemian Rhapsody doesn't have control over what he makes reality.
No, it's like an automatic thing.
Oh, that's. Can we just make a tier for Bohemian Rhapsody?
Yeah, I'm gonna put it like in between F and no ability. Wait, no, I didn't mean to do that. Settings.
I don't know how to rank. I don't know how you rank because on one hand, that's Bohemian Rhapsody is like incredibly overpowered. Like, here's what I. What if he just like created Sephiroth? GG's.
Yeah.
But on the other hand,
you could just create Sephiroth Killer, the man.
And, so just Cloud.
Yeah. Also the fact that this, I think it's the fact that the stands has like no set range, so like everything on the entire world started like coming to life.
And so like they just bring something to life that literally kills them.
Yes.
That's all you have to do to beat it.
Pretty much.
That's just F tier.
You know, yeah. Forget its own. It doesn't deserve its own tier. It's just.
That's just F tier.
It's legitimately just F tier. All right.
That's so stupid. I don't care how powerful your ability is. I could just do that and win.
It's so stupid. All right.
Unless you could kill me first. I don't know.
Yeah. Okay.
That's so stupid.
It is. All right. Sky High.
What if he just? No wait. We could just be going. We could keep going in circles like forever with Bohemian Rhapsody. Do we just put him in F?
Yeah, just put it. We're just gonna keep him in F.
Because like, what if Bohemian Rhapsody's user makes like an ability, makes like a character that like, just.
Huh?
What if Bohemian Rhapsody's user creates a character that just like he can literally just create anything, right?
Yeah.
No, with like smart use, doesn't that just become S plus then?
Yeah, but it's
like,
the fact that the user just like doesn't use any strategy. He just activates it and then just like sits back.
Well, we're not talking about the user, are we? We're just kind of talking about.
We don't even need to acknowledge Ungolo in any way.
We just rank the stand itself, right?
Yeah.
Like that's just S plus then, because let's say you create something first that just.
I think it's the fact that it's very easily exploitable once you find out its ability. Yeah,
what if you just create something that makes you immune to that? A character that makes you immune to its exploits.
Yeah. It's the fact that it's a pretty powerful ability, but it's the fact that it has like the easiest victory over.
But no, what if the user creates an ability that makes him immune to like the stand being exploited?
I mean, he could do that, but I don't know. It's the fact that like somebody would be like, "Oh, well, I have an ability that could just nullify your ability."
Oh yeah, then you just go in circles like forever. That's such a stupid.
It's awful, honestly.
That's just, no, that's just. I hate this stand already.
All right, I'll be right back. I need to go do something really quick.
All right. I'm gonna get some water real quick. I'm back.
Do.
Hello.
Hey. Alright, picking up where we left off. We got Sky High. So this is another stand of Dio's kids. This one, this is gonna be, I forgot. It's gonna be a complicated one to explain. But what Sky High does is that it creates. Okay, it doesn't create anything. It has control over these specific creatures, and they're called the rods. And they're like these insects that like kind of fly at like incredibly fast speeds. And what happens is that these insects they feed off of body heat, so they will start to steal the body heat of people around them.
Okay.
And that causes people to. One second, I gotta look at it because like it ends up causing people to have like panic attack style symptoms for some reason.
And that's it?
Well, let me look at it again. Abilities. Has control over the rods. The user can force eyelids shut, blinding enemies, stealing heat from the muscles. Raikeel can shut them down and even make them rot, which he uses enough precision to effectively control a target's hand gestures or even speech. He can twist ankles by making rods fly past them. By targeting a hoplomusthus near the near the upper jaw, Raikeel can slow down the visual perception of targets, making them see things with a few seconds delay.
That's
It literally makes your
sounds
eyes lag.
that actually sounds pretty good.
Yeah, if the rods concentrate on the brain stem, which controls all sensory and motory functions, will like heartbeat, the victim is guaranteed to die. The rods can also be used to numb Raikeel's neck nerves to prevent himself from feeling shock or pain and continue to fight beyond his body's normal capabilities.
That sounds like a pretty good stand.
I want to say this like a B tier, honestly, because it does require you
Yeah.
to have these insects like close to you, but it could also call them from other areas. But the fact that it can do all these things with body heat is pretty overpowered.
Then wouldn't it be A tier?
I mean, yeah, but it does require that he has to have control over. It's not the stand itself doesn't do this. It controls animals that do this.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yeah, I think it's if the stand did it himself, it would be an A tier. But the fact that it has to control animals to do this.
There's always that one catch.
Yeah. All right. Okay. Underworld. Underworld is the last Dio Sun stand. I like Underworld a lot. It's what it pretty much what it basically does is that if the user can dig up the ground and one second, I gotta look at the wiki because I want to be more specific with this. Because when I say it normally, it sounds pretty weird. But what it does is that memory unearthing. Underworld is able to excavate memories of events and people from the earth. Acting on the assumption that the ground has memory of everything that happens on it, Underworld can summon any past event that has happened in Orlando, Florida with no limitation to its date of occurrence and scope.
Just Orlando, Florida?
Well, because that's where he is.
Oh.
It requires on the ground that he's excavating.
But hypothetically, he could do it anywhere, right?
Pretty much. Similar to Bohemian Rhapsody, if an individual becomes caught in an event, they will experience what occurred in the memory and cannot change the event. Once caught, one must find a loophole or condition in the memory to escape death, such as a certain area where nobody dies or is injured. Memories of people who don't die in the original event will not die no matter what happens during the replayed event and can be used as a type of cover. The method of loopholes can only be utilized effectively if the victim has a thorough knowledge of the event.
That's S tier, honestly.
Honestly, yeah. Yeah. I mean, pretty much. The example is that the user essentially traps Jolene and Hermes in a plane crash.
Actually, no, wait, hear me out. What if he just recreated, like, the Big Bang? No, actually, that wouldn't work because that has to be a memory.
Yeah. No. Also, the fact that the Big Bang did not happen on Earth.
Yeah, no, I just realized that because like, it has to be like a memory of the ground, like.
Yeah.
And the Earth did not exist then.
Yeah, pretty much.
My bad.
Right.
So yeah, it's balanced out in that regard, but so you can't summon like a cosmic event, but still S tier.
Yeah. All right. Sea Moon. Here's the problem. I think Whitesnake and Made in Heaven are S tiers, but I think Sea Moon is A tier though.
What's Sea Moon?
Because Sea Moon is the second evolution of Whitesnake, and what it does is that it pretty much like controls gravity, so it makes gravity like vertical.
Huh, so I guess he did believe in gravity.
Yeah. And like he could also he could just change the entire world's center of gravity. Or maybe it's not the entire
world.
No, it's not the entire world. It's not the entire world. I think it's just one specific area though. Give me a second. I need to check because if it was like
S tier.
Yeah. All right. Abilities. Gravity shift. Makes Enrico Pucci the center of a reverse gravitational phenomenon. Within a radius of 3 kilometers around Pucci, the gravity shifts so that people and objects are repelled from him. Thus, any unfixed object will fall away from him as if the Earth was a giant cliff, but then return to normal once they fall sufficiently away from Pucci. Likewise, anyone positioned above Pucci will fall upward. Sea Moon is unaffected and can move freely around Pucci. By default, Pucci's gravity always makes him attached to the surface below his feet, making him able to walk on any surface, even vertical ones. However, he could toggle the gravity shift. Also, a surface inversion where he could change gravity on a person's finger, turning their fingers inside it. Okay.
Dude, that's like ultra S tier.
But the problem is that it's only 3 kilometers.
He could just launch cars into space.
Well, yeah, but like if he goes farther than 3 kilometers from Pucci, he'll just turn to normal.
What? Ah, I see. But as for the average person, they would just die by it.
Yeah. Also, the fact that cars could just turn to a bird, and that doesn't really matter about gravity.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah. So I think it's another A tier, but it's not. It's definitely not an S tier.
It'd be a stalemate.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing is, couldn't he trap someone in an infinite loop, theoretically, if they end up above him?
No. Do you mean like turning off his ability?
Like, he launches it. If they're above him, it says it launches them up, right? Not out.
Yeah.
So then they get launched up, fall, launched up again, right?
Well, I guess. I mean, well, the way it's describing it is pretty like. Huh. Well, it means like things just get repelled from. I mean, if you if you're able to hold, like, keeping in the fact that it makes the Earth as if it was a cliff, essentially turning the Earth on its side. Not the Earth, but the area that Poochie's in, on its side. Then, if you're able to like, I'm trying to imagine this. It's not as much as that, like, oh, you just get repelled into the air. It's like, oh, you get pushed away from him, but your gravity is still the same. It's not like a zero gravity lifts you into the air. Yeah.
So that's like S tier against anyone but cars.
Yeah. So
which is unfortunately our criteria.
Yeah. Yeah. Right now it's an A tier. Seaman is still pretty good.
I think the cars system is good though.
Yeah. It's a good placeholder. All right, Made in Heaven is an S plus tier, obviously.
S plus. Should we discuss what it does?
I mean, we can. Wait, where'd it go?
Okay, so
hold on. I lost Made in Heaven. Where'd it go?
Wait, Made in Heaven, come back.
Where did it go? I genuinely lost it. Where did it go?
It was too powerful.
No. Like, legit, where is he?
Can we refresh the page?
I don't want to refresh the page because I'm afraid it's just going to get rid of everything.
No, it won't. We refreshed it last time, didn't we? No, we turned it off. We closed out of that at some point, right?
I mean, yeah, but I don't want to risk refreshing it. I mean, Made in Heaven is probably somewhere in here. Wait, 1 second. I need to find out where Made in Heaven went.
Where did Made in Heaven go? Oh god.
It was too fast.
Try clicking on the space where it disappeared again, maybe.
I'm gonna alright. And let me just refresh. Alright.
Oh, we're refreshing?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Is it back?
1 second, it's loading. It's still loading.
Oh god. Did we mess up?
No, I think we just lost Made in Heaven.
Wait, it saved our list, right?
Yeah, but it also saved when we get rid of Made in Heaven.
We didn't get rid of it, though.
It just disappeared. It ran... Oh, no, it's an F tier!
How did it end up in F?
How did it go to F tier? Alright.
It whipped around.
Okay. S plus. Alright. So...
Easy S plus. Also, heads up, just in case you're still here after several warnings, this is like ultra spoiler territory.
This is... Alright.
Massive ultra spoilers about to be discussed here for part 6.
Exactly.
Massive spoilers. So this is your last chance. Leave now.
Leave now. Okay. Made in Heaven. Speeds up time, but it doesn't affect organic organisms. It just speeds up everything else, and eventually it brings things to the heat death of the universe and brings everything living to the new universe.
To a new universe.
And from there, everyone in that universe will know their own fate, and only Poochie can control the fate in that universe. That is Made in Heaven. That's why it's S tier.
He can control the fate of everyone?
I mean, if he's the only one that could actually change people's fate. Everyone else is fated to carry out their fated actions, but he's the only one that could actually cause them to do different things.
That's insane ultra S.
Yeah. Alright, so now we're moving into part 7. Yay. My favorite part. This is... Oh, wait, no. There's Marilyn Manson. We found her.
Marilyn Manson!
Wait. If Marilyn Manson's all the way over here... Actually, never mind. I thought the Fool might be in here, but never mind. Alright. Marilyn Manson. We found her.
They just forgot.
Yeah. Marilyn Manson.
You know, the standalone part 3's
F.
protagonist.
Alright.
S in our hearts, though.
Yes. S in our hearts, but F in reality. Okay. So, let's get started with part 7. Hey Ya. Alright. So what Hey Ya does is that Heya has personal encouragement.
That's it.
He could encourage someone and cheer them on. Also,
That's S in my heart.
yeah. Also, the fact that he has some form of precognition, like not fully like epitaph style future telling, but in the sense that the stand itself will say like, will say like, no, user, avoid that certain area. I have a bad feeling something is going to happen, or go over here. I have a good feeling about this area, and then.
But it's not totally accurate.
It's not totally accurate, and it can't control what happens. It more or less just knows that going in a certain direction will lead to victory somehow.
That's kind of vague. Actually, sounds not bad.
I want to say, I think the fact that it can only encourage him and has only very limited precognition is like, yeah, it's like a D tier.
It's like, oh, D.
Mm-hmm.
That's fair.
Yeah. All right. Tomb of the Boom is... All right, here's the problem. Tomb of the Boom is a stand, and it's a mix of Bastet and Metallica, in the fact that it uses the iron in people's bloods to make them a magnet. And that's it. Also the fact that the stand is shared among 3 people.
Huh. Or just got the individual stand, but just standards, that ability just isn't very special at all.
No, it's like that's like a D tier too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, all right. Oh, Lonesome Me, F tier. And it sucks.
What's that do?
Okay, it's all right. Oh, Lonesome Me manifests as a rope, and it could extend out, and the user could send segments of his body down the rope. And that's it.
That's stupid.
Yeah, and it sucks because this is the Speedwagon equivalent. He got literally the worst stand in Part 7. Like, I don't know.
Well, at least he can use the spin.
He can't.
Oh.
He's just a stand user with a rope.
So he just has a rope.
Yeah, his stand is
I assume he uses it pretty cleverly.
I mean, yeah, I mean, if he wants to reach something from far away, he could segment his hand off and then just, like, send it down the rope.
True, but then you can't see the thing.
I mean, yeah, but at the same time, you can't really do anything else with it. It's just a rope.
So what does he do with it?
He does some stuff with it. He could use it to, like... I don't remember. This is very early on in Part 7. And here's the thing. Part 7 is the best part because it has its worst fights at the beginning. And like
so everything else is just really good.
Everything after that, even if it's mediocre, it is just leagues better in comparison to the stuff before it.
Is that why everyone loves it? No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. All right.
Part 7, I've heard, is like the best part.
Pretty much. All right.
I've heard it's incredible.
Yeah. Okay. This stand, I'm pretty sure it's called Boku no Rhythm o Kite Kure, which I think translates to "listen to my rhythm," and I'm just gonna keep calling it that. So listen to my rhythm. What it does is this is essentially the Part 7 version of Killer Queen, in the fact that
the weeps will come after you if you don't call it by its name.
Okay. Boku no Rhythm. Boku no Rhythm. What it does is that it essentially anything it touches, it places these little like clock stamps on it. No, pins. And if you lift your hand off of the pins will shoot out and cause the thing to explode.
So just Killer Queen with extra steps.
Pretty much, but the thing is that the explosions affect the area surrounding it, unlike Killer Queen.
Huh.
Yeah.
Where would you put that?
I want to say this like a C tier because like you have to keep your hands firmly placed on the pins to stop them from moving. Actually, you know what? I'm gonna put this up to B tier because like he could also put pins on stuff like water. So
that's pretty good.
That's pretty good. So yeah, Boku no Rhythm is pretty good. Yeah, B. All right. Wired.
Because that's a pretty big. Like it's like sure you could just not move your head, but that's a very big placed on you.
I mean, yeah. Now that you mention it, I think this might be A tier. because the fact that these explosions are pretty large.
I think it could be an A.
Yeah,
Also, how
yeah,
do you know if you've hit a pin?
yeah. I mean, it's definitely A. All right.
Yeah, I feel it's A.
Yeah. Okay. I'm gonna need to look. I'm gonna need to look on the wiki for Wired again because it's a very. All right.
I think we're almost at the end of this list, right?
Yeah. I mean, this is like early part 7. I'm gonna have
There are
more. I'm gonna
many in
have more stuff
7.
to talk about when we get to part 8, though.
Uh,
All right. So, um, what Wired does is that it's tongue hooks. So the user can send 2 hooks attached to a strong metal cable through a pan of water. The water functions like a portal through which the user can observe a limited zone as if it were peeking from above, and he places an object on the surface. He could send his hooks through said object who will come out the other side of the object and kind of pull victims.
that sounds gross and unsanitary.
It is. So imagine he has a pail of water and he's looking down over a certain area, so the pail of water is essentially like kind of like a portal. And then
I would never drink from that water.
Yeah. And then he sends his wire down, and there's a bird flying in that area. He could hook the bird and pull it out through the pail of water.
That's incredibly niche.
I think it's like an E tier stand because like you have.
What do you do with it?
I don't know. I guess assassinations.
Like, could that be like a body of like?
I don't know.
Can it be larger than a pail of water?
I don't know. We've only ever seen him use a pail of water.
Can you have like a gun and like shoot it through? Because that actually would be kind of good.
Yeah. I guess. I'm not sure. We never really get much closure on what exactly the capabilities of Wired.
Now we get to Tusk.
Alright. Tusk Act 1. I think Tusk Act 1 is like an E tier ability because it's just spinning your nails and it doesn't have any of the other capabilities of the spin that the spin can actually do. It's just nails and it just like hits like a. It's essentially you just turn your nails into a gun. He doesn't get any of like the actual spin stuff yet.
I mean, it's an Act 1. Yeah. I mean, it's not a bad ability.
I mean, I guess we could like bump it up to like D tier.
Yeah, these guns are powerful.
Yeah. Alright. Scary monsters.
S.
S.
No. S. S, yeah.
Yeah, S. Dinosaur AIDS. That's all I have to say. That is exactly what that ability is. It is dinosaur AIDS.
I mean, dinosaurs are cool.
Yeah.
AIDS isn't cool.
No. Okay.
That's why.
Yeah. All right. This stand. Okay. So this is gonna get a little weird. All right. So in part 7, it's shown that most of the corpse parts have a guardian guarding them. What happens is that Diego gets scary monsters from taking one of the eyes of the corpse. Gyro takes the other one. And what happens is that Gyro gets access to this ability called Scan. And what Scan does is that when he throws his steel ball, it manifests an eye on the steel ball. So it knows exactly where, so he knows exactly like where the steel ball is going, as if like, I think it could semi-control the area, the movement at which it goes. Also, it allows the steel balls to harm stands.
That's not bad.
It's not. And then Gyro loses the eye, and then he could never use this ability again. But it's essentially his stand before Ball Breaker. And it gives him the ability to see stands throughout the part. So I think this is like a D tier stand.
Wait, can't Gyro already see stands because he has a stand himself?
He never. Okay, so here's the thing. Spin by itself is kind of like a gateway to getting a stand. So.
But Gyro has that rope.
Gyro does have it, but it requires a certain mastery to actually get a stand. It wasn't until he got an actual corpse part that he was able to actually see stands.
So it's not. So he didn't have like a real stand.
No, he just had steel balls.
Oh, but what about that rope thing?
Well, the rope? You mean the zombie horse?
Yeah, like they send body parts down. didn't
Oh,
say
that's not
Gyro had
Gyros.
that?
That was Mountain Tim's.
Oh,
That's a completely different person.
my bad.
Gy-
No, I thought you said Gyro.
Oh, all right.
Who was Mountain Tim again?
He was the Speedwagon equivalent.
Oh. Yeah, I was thinking of. Oh,
I don't
my bad. I was thinking Speedwagon and Caesar are basically same thing.
know. All right. Cream starter. Cream starter. Okay, it manifests itself as like a can of hairspray. I mean, that's a can of spray. And what it does is that it could spray out flesh, and it could use that to suffocate a person by covering their mouth and nose in flesh, blinding them with flesh, or just or it can also change a person's face using it. But it could
That's
also
like
steal people's flesh and put it inside the actual can as ammo.
steal flesh. How?
If it touches a person, it kind of like
Oh, that's
drains their
gross.
flesh and then just kind of like sends it into the stand.
That's like E tier.
Yeah, I think also the fact is that I think this might be an F tier because like it's shown that like anyone can interact with Cream Starter, even non-stand users. Like they could just take your stand, like someone could just take Cream Starter and just use it on you.
Can the flesh be removed?
Yes.
So even if they try to suffocate you, could just remove it?
Well, no. I mean, you
Oh.
could try and claw it away, but it's more like a creamy kind of thing, so it's like kind of hard to like grab onto.
That's still rough.
Yeah.
I mean, you're the only stand that can be literally be used against you.
Yeah. All right.
You might as well not have a stand at that.
Yeah, honestly. All right. Mandem. Mandem is okay. So what Mandem does is that it can rewind time by 6 seconds, and everyone in the rewind remembers everything that happened beforehand.
So can I create like an infinite time loop?
No. He has to wait 6 seconds before he could use the stand again. I mean, I think theoretically he can do that, but there is a cooldown for rewinding.
What's the radius?
I don't think we're ever shown the radius.
But it's small, I'd assume.
I think so. Also, the stand itself can't fight. It can only rewind time. I think Mandem is like a B tier stand because it's a time ability, you know?
Yeah, time abilities automatically.
Yeah. Also, I have a bit of a bias because like Ringo Rodigan is like the Mandem fight is like I think one of the best fights in Steel Ball Run by far.
What happens in that fight?
It's essentially like an old school cowboy duel with Gyro and Ringo. So like every time they like get screwed up, he just rewinds. Also, the fact that the user himself is really interesting, and he's one of those like he's kind of similar to Wamu in a sense. That he's like kind of about fair fighting. Like he won't use his stand in a duel against non-stand users.
I see.
Mm-hmm. All right. Catch the Rainbow. Catch the Rainbow is it's a mask, and the user wears it, and it gives the user the ability to meld with the rain, essentially turning his body into a liquid and being unable to hit him. He could also freeze parts of the rain and send them at people and shoot them at people as if they were like knives getting sent through the air. He could walk on rain. He could also run across the rain, eventually making him like pretty fast. But the main problem is that he can only do this when it's raining.
So basically, when it's raining, you're like. So basically, when it's raining, that's like 8, but.
Yeah, but the fact that like
not.
Yeah, and the fact that this stand user and this stand exists in a time when people did not know what the weather was going to be like the next day.
So it was just random.
Yeah, so he pretty much
like,
has a gamble about
what,
like, I guess tomorrow I'll be able to use my stand.
Huh. But when he can use it, it's like S tier.
Yeah.
Maybe. No,
I want to say this like a
no,
C
not
tier
S.
ability, including the drawback.
Yeah, including the drawback. But if not for that drawback, that could possibly be S.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. I'm gonna have to look up In a Silent Way again. In a Silent Way, the way I can describe it is that it's really like most similar to Echo's Act 2. So what it does is that it could store sounds in objects or even people. By affecting an object with a characteristic action like stabbing it, Stanman stores the corresponding sound in the object. If somebody touches said object, the sound is released as a hazard that is characteristic of the same sound, affecting the thing it is touched. For instance, if a cutting sound is stored inside a ladder, anyone or anything that touches the ladder will be cut instantly. It allows Sandman to ambush enemies with environmental hazards while hiding. Also has the ability to create three-dimensional sound constructs, where he could just create large objects made out of sound effects. So like he ends up making essentially like a wall that's made of like the kanji for like the sound like boom or something. He could also create artificial homunculuses out of the environment. So it's essentially Echo's Act 2 but like better.
Huh. So we just put like, where was Echo's Act 2?
Where's Act 2? Act 2 is in C.
So that'd just be B.
Yeah. Yeah, In a Silent Way is definitely a better version of Act 2. Yeah. Alright. And
Tusk Act 2.
And then we get Tusk Act 2. Alright. Tusk Act 2 is pretty much the same thing, except it utilizes the golden ratio. No, the golden rectangle, which is like a rectangle made out of like objects in nature. So essentially, by being able to see that ratio, it like I'm gonna need to look. I'm gonna put it in C tier for now, as just so that I could look up what it actually does, and then we could change it.
All right.
So let me look up what Act 2 does. All right, abilities. Act 1. Once Johnny imbues his fingers with the spin, in accordance with the golden rectangle, it greatly enhances the basic properties of his shots. The fingernails now rotate around his fingers like axes. Thus, when he shoots the fingernails, they possess a drilling property, which dramatically increases the power of the shots. One shot is able to blast away a large zone on impact. On the downside, the nails regrow considerably slower, and as such, Johnny must save his nails or he will find himself out of ammunition. In addition to the damage boost, the nail shots gain a new property. After they hit a target, they disappear and leave a hole. These same holes created through the rotation can automatically chase after any target designated by Johnny in case he misses, leaving a dark trail behind them. When they manage to touch the enemy, the holes destroy them by tearing into vitals. The holes shrink and disappear after 8 seconds.
That sounds like C tier.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. Now it's pretty much C tier. It's pretty much like Act 1, but like, it's just the better version of Act 1.
Yeah.
All right. Next up.
It's the guy she tells you not to worry.
Yeah, pretty much. All right. This next one is Sugar Mountain. I think it's just called Sugar Mountain. Yep. All right. Okay, get this. This is the stand of a tree.
Huh.
All right. So, Trial of Greed. The stand affects a large area around the tree and activates when a person drops an object in one of the ponds and springs nearby. A person that is a guardian of the tree then presents said dropped object to the person, along with several much more valuable objects, asking what it is they dropped in the water. For instance, Sugar Mountain asks whether Gyro dropped a steel ball, a diamond, or a great gold nugget in the water. If a person succumbs to their greed and lies, the tree will punish the offender. Several vines will embed them into the person's tongue and pull their innards out. If a person tells the truth, they can keep the valuable object along with the original. The trial is very straightforward, and someone can even obtain the corpse part the tree is guarding easily by dropping animal parts into the ponds and answering truthfully. If a person chooses to end it and leave the riches, the second part of the test begins. Before sunset, the person who has obtained riches through the first trial must use them up. If they fail, they are absorbed into the bark and must wait in line until they become guardians of the tree. So pretty much what happens is that
How are Gardens of the Tree?
I mean guardians.
Oh, Guardians.
Yeah. So what ends up happening is that if you lie, no, if you take one of the riches that the guardian offers you, then and you leave, then what you have to do is that you have to use up those riches, and if not, you'll become one with the tree.
For like eternity.
Pretty much.
Shit.
I mean, I honestly have no idea
How
where
do
to
you
put.
know about the test? It tells you, I assume.
Yeah.
But like, what does it mean by riches?
I mean, okay, so the example is that they end up getting like actual like I think $1 million. So then they have to use up $1 million.
Oh god, and that's back in like the 1700s.
Well, no,
Or like
the 1890s.
that was back like the 1890s, where like before like inflation.
Yeah. All right. I want to say this.
Hey,
Like
you remember that time? So on topic of inflation, remember that time Sonic fans printed money and messed with the anime?
Please no. I don't remember that, and I'm not gonna Google that. All right. I think Sugar Mountain is like an E tier stand because if you don't answer, you could just leave. The only interesting part about it, yeah, the only reason they agreed to it was because the tree had a corpse part. It's honestly it's like Superfly but as a tree. Yeah, it's weird.
It's like E tier. I mean, at least does something kind of neat.
All right. This next one is Tattoo You. I need to remember what this does because like, all right. So Tattoo You, the stand is like shared among like 11 men, and Tattoo You allows the 11 men to phase into each other by using the tattoos on their backs as portals, then reappearing through the tattoos at will. The men can exist in the same spot all at once, appearing as if they were merged together. It allows the men to hide inside each other in order to avoid attacks. If a member of the group dies with companions inside, those inside the tattoos are unharmed and can move the bodies to position themselves to attack.
That's
I honestly am blanking because these two, like, okay, all the next stands that show up are going to be way easier to rate than these two.
I'm confused what it even does.
I'm confused too. It's essentially like it allows them to like merge and hide within each other.
That's kind of cool, I guess.
I want to say let's put it in the same area with Sugar Mountain.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah.
I have no idea what to make of it. I have the hiccups.
Okay. All right. So, Tubular Bells. This next one. This is way more easier to understand. So what it does is that the user, the user has the ability to like blow into like metal nails and turn them into like balloons and form them into like balloon dogs, and after that the dogs can then sniff a scent and then they will track that scent, essentially making them like actual dogs. And once they find a target, they could explode into like shrapnel and essentially tear up a person's body.
Oh Christ!
Yeah.
That's like C tier.
Yeah, I think it's the fact that it literally just creates tracking dogs. All right.
That's kind of good. They explode.
Yeah. Okay. 20th Century Boy. I think this is the most simplest stand in all of Steel Ball Run. What 20th Century Boy does is that it is the ultimate defense. I think it's that I need to remember what it does in a second.
Hey, it was certainly ahead of its time, am
Yeah.
I right?
All energy and incoming projectiles are redirected away from the user into the earth or air, making him immune to any damage. So, pretty much what it does is that the stand user has to be in a certain pose and activate the stand. And he can't move while he's doing this. So any attack that is directed towards him will be deflected. So in order to attack, the stand itself can't attack. So in order for the user to do a counterattack, he needs to actively turn off his ability.
That's stupid.
Yeah. And he gets he gets the cars treatment too. He gets stuck underwater until he stops thinking.
Why? Because he just doesn't turn off his ability?
Well, because like he's trapped within a net, and he's like, I'm already so low. I'm on the bottom of this floor, and I'm not gonna be able to swim all the way up before I run out of air. So I'm just gonna keep my ability on and hope somebody comes to find me. And he just stops thinking.
Damn.
Yeah. So I think this is like a D tier ability. Because like you think about it, you have all defense but no offense.
But yeah, it's worth something. You know what they say, the best offense is a good defense. Am I right, fellas?
Nobody says that.
I'm pretty sure that's actual saying.
Is it? Alright. Okay.
That's all.
Civil War. Civil War, I think this is like, I don't know. Civil War is pretty much, if you're in its range, then you will, and if you feel guilty, you will be haunted by the sins of your past. And what ends up happening is that eventually you're going to get overwhelmed by them and they will kill you. And what else can happen is that if you end up killing the user, or if you kill somebody that's under the effect of Civil War, then the sins of that person will be passed on to you, and you will be attacked by that person's sins manifested.
So basically, insta kill on anyone. Anxiety.
Pretty much. Also, the stand can bring back the user.
What does it mean, bring back the user, and why is my mouse dying?
Essentially, what it does is that it kind of ties into guilt. Because, like, you get past the sin, so you feel guilty about killing the user, and that guilt essentially resurrects your past sins. So essentially, killing the user would be counted as a sin. So it would bring back the user. The only way that they were able to defeat the user was because Valentine just like rolled out of his range and just shot the user.
And that was it?
Yeah, he had to be killed by somebody that wasn't under the effect of his stand.
That's like A tier.
Yeah. Honestly, Civil War is pretty good. Civil War is also my favorite fight. And then we get to Tusk Act 3. The most underutilized one. So, Act 3, pretty much, he pretty much does the same thing with the spin. But what he can also do is that if he uses the nail bullets on himself, and it brings back the holes from Act 2, he could like enter inside the space in a hole and move it along the ground and attack from anywhere. So he could essentially travel as a hole on the ground and like have his arms reappear and just shoot from anywhere.
I mean, that's not bad.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like B tier.
Yeah, I think. Yeah.
Oh, and one thing, I'll be able to go until we finish the part 7 stands. I'll have to head out before and maybe we could do part 8. We could finish up part 8 another time.
Yeah, we should be able to finish up part 8 really quick. All right.
All right.
Yeah.
Would it be okay if I because I kind of have to head out soon.
All right.
All right.
Okay.
So I can finish up to part 7.
All right. Okay.
So
I mean,
D4C. Oh,
yeah,
we have a lot to say for this one.
that's an S tier.
That's an S tier, yeah.
I'm thinking maybe how about we could go like halfway through part 8.
I mean, I wish I could, but I don't have a ton of time.
All right. We'll just save part 8 for another one.
All right.
All right. Yeah, I don't even think we need to talk about D4C.
That's just an S tier.
Yeah.
Because like, I mean, we might as well say what it does.
Yeah. It essentially anything that gets caught in between two objects by the stand will be transported to another parallel dimension. And if Funny Valentine is killed, he could pass his stand. He could bring another version of himself to the base universe, and that one will retain his memories.
And if someone who encounters their
their parallel selves, then they will
parallel dimension, they will instantly die.
Yeah, they will die. So yeah. All right. Chocolate Disco. This is literally an F tier. It's essentially Battleship, but manifested as a stand. So there's like a grid that shows up on the floor, and he has like a little like thing on his forearm, and it's like a button readout of the same grid. So anything that's in that square on the grid, and he presses a button, and then he could send it to another area on the grid.
That's stupid.
It is so stupid. He's literally defeated so easily. Yeah, that's honestly an F tier.
Oh boy, these next 3 ones.
Well, after this one, Ticket to Ride. It's Lucy Steele's stand. This is an F tier. She could turn her tears into knives. That's it.
Oh, that's stupid.
Yeah.
No, I'd say E, maybe.
Yeah, that's like an E. At least it has uses.
That's E. At least you could do something.
Yeah. All right.
So maybe
all right, D4C Love Train.
Oh boy, here we go.
S plus. It literally redirects misfortune to anyone on the earth. So Cars, you go to attack Funny Valentine with like your blade arm, somebody on the other side of the world will just get cut up instantly. You could never attack him. Okay.
You just.
Huh?
It's so like it's just mind-bogglingly busted.
Yeah. Pretty much. All right. Ball Breaker. Ball Breaker is the stand of the infinite of the golden spin, and this is a B tier stand because it could rapidly age you, and it could also break through Love Train.
Wait, that one breaks through Love Train?
Both Tusk Act 4 and Ball Breaker can break through Love Train.
Ah.
Yeah.
It feels weird putting a stand that could break through Love Train in B tier.
I mean, its only other ability is that it could rapidly age somebody.
Which I mean is pretty.
I mean, yeah, but it's definitely not.
Wait, that's just to say, kind of like Alessi.
Well, actually, yeah, that is an A tier because it can break through Love Train, and it's pretty much the same as Grateful Dead.
Yeah, that I say it's A tier.
Yeah, all right.
And Grateful Dead was A tier, right?
Yes.
All right, so yeah.
Yeah.
And now.
Oh
boy.
Ooh, Act 4. S.
Oh boy.
The infinite rotation. You will continue spinning forever and ever, and you will never stop unless you are killed.
Or the application. Like, what are exactly the applications of that?
Well, it's just the ultimate win counter. You shoot somebody with Act 4, they are not getting up again. They are not fighting back.
Oh, damn. S plus?
Yes, definitely.
That's the first, like... that's the first like non-reality screwing stand.
Yeah.
That's like
The fact that every cell in your body will continue to spin forever until you die.
that's you just had fights instantly.
Yeah, pretty much. And then the world.
And wait, and then the world?
Yeah, it's literally just the same as the world,
Oh,
except
yeah.
except it only has like Star Platinum's amount of time to stop time.
Huh. So it's just Star Platinum.
Essentially, but it's just the aesthetics of the world.
Huh.
Alright, and that's it with part 7.
Woo!
Alright. And we could save part 8 for another time.
Thanks, man. Thanks for having me on.
You're welcome.
Sorry I had to cut it short.
No, it's no problem. I needed to leave in a bit also.
Alright.
Alright.
So,